Hello guys, today we will play 5-minute Blitz. In this game I am playing as black, he plays d4, the queen's pawn opening, and now I will play the England gambit, one of my favorite gambits as black. He takes on e5 and I will attack the center pawn, and now I will put more pressure on the center pawn. Now he can just forget about it by playing knight c3, and then I can take. Or he could have played bishop f4, which he can play now. Okay, he plays knight to d5. He wants to fork me, but I will take the knight. He's forced to take back with the g-pawn because his e-pawn is pinned to the king. Now my queen is under attack and a fork is being threatened. I could go queen d6, I could go queen d8, I can go queen c5. Any of these moves, all of these moves are good. I will choose queen c5 because it puts some pressure on the knight. And in my future moves, I could play d6. Actually, I could play d5 now, but the problem with playing d5 right now is that he can take because he has a knight to defend. So, and always remember this is a very important thing. Always develop your knight before your bishop because knights have more mobility in the opening. Now he plays c3. He probably wants to play b4, but I will just develop my bishop, and after b4 I could just retreat and not worry about anything. And in my future moves I will play b6, bishop b7, and kingside castle. He plays bishop d2, which is fine by me. Okay, this he wants to offer a knight trade because when I take, he undoubles his pawns, which is good for him. It's not bad for me, but this pawn structure is very bad. If the pawn was on g2, he would have had a better pawn structure, but now he doesn't really have a good pawn structure. So if I take, I improve his pawn structure. So I don't want that. Instead, I'm thinking of going knight d5 and knight f4 and rook e8 and those moves. So he plays e3, preventing me from going knight f4, but now I will play rook e8, pinning this pawn to the king, and I can play knight f4, I can play bishop f4 because he cannot take me. Now, there's a question here. Do I take this pawn? Do I go knight f4? I could go knight f4 just because he cannot take, but there's no big threat. Always remember this, that when you're... Let me just play this so my time doesn't run out. That when you like a move... Okay, I will take the queen, he will take my queen, I will take his rook, he will take my knight, and I will play d5. So right here, was it here? Yes. Just because you can play knight f4 doesn't mean you have to play knight f4. Okay, right. He goes there. That unfortunately traps his own bishop, which is very bad for him. And now I'm up 5 points of material, which is equal to a rook. And now, remember when I said taking this knight is going to be good for him? Well, it's best for me to simplify because I'm up a lot of points of material. And also, instead of rook d8, I could have gone d4. But I will play d4 right now. And his position is very bad. It's basically close to losing. And he resigned. I was explaining right over Here. Just, no, right here. Just because you can play knight f4, like, just because you can play a move doesn't mean you have to play that. Because right now, if I play knight f4, well, does that improve my position? No. What does that do? Not much. So I took the pawn, because now I'm threatening to take the queen. He plays rook c1, pinning the knight to my queen. But now I took the queen, he took my queen, I took his rook, and then he took my knight. So I'm up 3 points of material here. I played d4, trying to take space with my pawn. He plays bishop b5, threatening to take my rook. Now, normally, if I would have had a queen on d8, I would have played bishop d7, but now since I don't have any guard for this square on d7, I played c6 instead. Now, this was when he blundered on bishop a4, because now if I just go b5, his bishop cannot retreat because his pawn is already on b3, and it's forced to take me. He plays b4 himself. I retreat, he brings his king, and I take the knight. Now, I already said this, but I said to not take the knight, because it will improve his pawn structure, but now I'm up 5 points of material, so it's best to simplify. And by the way, simplifying means trade all the pieces, and at the end of the day, you're up 5 points of material. Now, instead of rook d8, maybe d4 was a little bit better, but I still played it on here. He took, and he resigned. My future moves would have been rook takes d8. He would have probably gone bishop e3, and then I would have retreated. He would have taken, I would have taken, and I would have 99%. I'm 99% sure that I would have won this game. And yeah, that's all. In this game, I had 4 mistakes, 1 blunder, and 0 missed wins. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed, then please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.